I saw you were just on my pal Blair White's show not that long ago, and I want to ask you about the trans issue because this is such a culture war touch point. I'm sure you share my frustration because if you try to talk to some I was on a live stream and for iHypocrite, and they were showing
Oh
a Bud
God.
Light ad. Hold on.
Sorry,
They
go
were
ahead.
showing a Bud Light ad that was aimed for gay people during Pride and had three drag queens from Drag Race, and I'm like, oh, I know those queens. Her name is whatever, and the fact that I used the her to refer to a drag queen, the entire chat room lost their minds. And I'm like, look,
Mhm.
this is not someone who thinks they're a man. This is someone playing a character. It's very understood. There's no pretense. But to try to explain the difference between drag and cross dressing, which is often a straight kink, and transgender, or that say these three things are different right away, it's like, oh, you want trans kids, so on and so forth. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this issue and whether it's kind of overblown.
Um, I, my my, I'm
I know, I know, I know. I hear
no.
you.
It's here. This is my frustration. Okay, without getting too macro level, the Republicans made a deal with the devil when they signed up with Trump, and that has now come to fruition, and it's been disastrous for the Republican Party because now they've got a party that is, I think, still largely allegiant to Donald Trump over the Republican Party, and Donald Trump has no allegiance to the Republican Party.
Yes.
So the whole conservative movement is in a bind right now where their party is eating itself alive. On one end, you've got Donald Trump who's staring down the barrel of soon to be maybe multiple federal indictments, soon to be maybe multiple state indictments, at least one of each. And then on the other end, you've got DeSantis, who, my God, I don't know if just watching him work audiences is like Jesus. So as a result of the Republican Party being like completely destroying itself, and then on the left, regardless of, I'll fight with conservatives on this, and they disagree with me, but I know I'm right. Biden has done a good job at just not being very hateable. He doesn't inspire a lot of passion and support, but he also doesn't inspire a lot of
That's
hatred. You
true.
know, it's really easy to get fired up hating Obama, hating Hillary Clinton, but like, can you really get fired up like hating Joe Biden? Like, he's not the kind of character that you can. So without the left to attack, without a person on the right to rally around, conservatives find themselves like, what the do we talk about? It's not immigration. It's not the economy. It's barely foreign policy. It's not healthcare. It's all trans issues. So
Yes.
the past year and a half has just been the most ridiculous, obsessive fixation on shit that I don't think anybody cares about. You really give a like, bro? We've had drag queens in this country and shit for so long. Nobody gave a when kids watched like the Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff. Nobody gave a when drag queens existed in the country before. Nobody cared about like the child pageants and all that shit, which is infinitely creepy. Nobody cared about like 10-year-old boys going to Hooters and getting pictures with the girls and the boobs. But now because it's all wrapped up in trans shit, people have lost their mind on it. You ever see the movie Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, but I know what it is, of course.
If that movie got released today, I think conservatives would actually lose their mind. If Mulan got released today, I think conservatives would lose their mind. It's a trans man. What are they doing to kids? They're poison. I'm saying women can be men. It's just like, I don't know. I think that there are interesting arguments to be had about like the ontology of man and woman and what does it mean to redefine these things and blah, blah, blah. But like people are just like in the gutter. Their brains are fucking destroyed. What was the fucking story I read where like I think an old person attacked like a little kid because they thought they were trans. And it was like, what the fuck is,
No.
yeah, it was like insane at a little league game or
Yeah,
something.
but
Or
hold on. Let me push back a little bit
yeah, go,
about this
go.
because
Yep.
I know a lot about this. I have, Candy Darling's passport photo in my kitchen,
Go for
signed
it.
with her dead name on the back. So I know a lot about this issue.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference between drag in terms of its vaudeville cabaret sense, where it's this nightclub, low life, everyone's drunk or high, having
Mm-hmm.
fun, very bawdy humor, and taking a library context and directing it towards children. I think that is, it's like you wouldn't have Hooters school hour. You wouldn't have Chippendale school hour. I think that's the concern. This leaving apart the other side, and the fact that they're specifically targeting children in terms of not targeting in terms of converting them, but targeting in terms of having them be initiated into queer theory. That is the concern.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what it looks like because like prior to 2020, before COVID rotted everybody's minds, I think that like if a guy dressed up in like a really ridiculous woman's outfit and went to a library to read stories, I don't think most people would care because I mean it
Well,
was obviously
Giuliani was in drag with Trump. I mean, that was the kind
yeah.
of yeah.
Even reading now, if they're reading books about how it's good to be gay or be trans or whatever, obviously people have issues, but like I don't think people care or would really care about drag anywhere as much as they seem to be. It's just become kind of like a proxy or like a flashpoint for like trans issues in general. It's like the bathroom issue. Like that the bathroom issue is the most incoherent. Like conservatives will say shit like, I don't want these predators in the women's bathroom because they're gonna all the women. It's like, okay, well, I have a 12-year-old son. I would rather have them in the women's bathroom than the male's bathroom. I don't want them attacking my kid, you know? But like this doesn't happen, right? Like all these trans people about it, like where the fuck? Like if these stories happen, conservatives would be screaming about them from the rooftops. But somehow it's like one of the most important issues is like who's going into what bathroom, and it's like in places in Europe, even in places in the U.S. Sometimes there are co-ed bathrooms. It's like everybody has a stall. Like who cares? Like yeah, I feel a lot of these trans issues and or the drag issues especially is like the same, where like people pretend to really care about them. But I think they're just kind of like proxies for the trans issues because I think right now conservatives just don't have much else to talk about because their party is like no positions on anything right now. That's my feeling on it.